Hello everybody, I just wanted to share this little stock market robot thing that I made using Node-RED. If you're not familiar with Node-RED, it is just a way to make programs without using a lot of code, and not being a coder, this was just very easy. I could not have done this project without Node-RED. So if you're in a similar boat where you don't really know much about coding or anything like that, then this could be helpful for you, not just to make this stock bot, but also just figuring out how to use Node-RED as well. So obviously you need Node-RED, and you also need something called Alpaca, and you can sign up, but this is just the brokerage that I connect Node-RED to in order to place the trades. And then you will also need a Google Sheet set up, which obviously is pretty easy to set up. So I will have all the code in the description of this video, so all you have to do to get that code, and I just have it in a Google Doc right now, I don't know how I'm going to share it yet, but you'll just copy and paste this whole block of text, and then you'll get Node-RED set up. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube on how to do that. And once you get it set up, you'll just go to this little tab right here, hit import, and then you just paste that text right into the clipboard, hit import, and then you should have everything exactly the same. Now you'll also need modules, and I'll show you the modules that I have. So these are the nodes you'll need to make this thing work. Even if you copy and paste it over and it looks like you have everything ready to go, you'll still need to go and install these nodes. And so for example, you need node-red-contrib-alpaca. So you just go to the install page and you just search that up. And there you go, install it. And then I'll just scroll down so you can see all the ones that I have. And then I can probably just put a list of these in the description on YouTube. Yeah, so that's all the nodes that you need. Once you have those nodes installed and the code copied over, this should work for you. I'm just going to explain it. Maybe that will be helpful rather than you guys just trying to figure this out on your own. So I guess there's two parts to this thing. First part is the actual trigger that goes and finds the stock and then triggers the execution. The second part is the actual execution of buying the stock. And so my trigger here is just Twitter. So get kind of backstory on this. I saw a bunch of gurus on Twitter calling stocks and saying, hey, these are what I'm buying, these are going up, you should buy these too, basically. And so I was like, well, how successful is this? And so I made this to kind of see. And so this monitors those Twitter users, and as soon as they tweet, it will figure out if they're actually like tweeting about a stock, or are they just talking about how much money they have or how much alcohol they drink. Okay, if it's a stock, it parses out the stock and it sends the ticker. So if it just says $TSLA is going up, that means Tesla's going up, and it will parse the JSON and take out TSLA. And actually, before it does that, it makes sure that the market is open. And so if the market is open, it sends that ticker symbol further along the line, and it continues the program. If the market is closed, it just kills the program right here. It also gets my Alpaca account just to see if I've hit my day trade limit, and if I have, then it also kills the program right there. If day trade is good and market hours are good, then it keeps going. And it sends the ticker right here. And this checks my Google Sheet. Google Sheet records all the stock trades. And so basically, if there's been a recent stock trade, it will be on the Google Sheet and it will reject the order. So it will just kill the whole program. I did this because when I first made this, a guru would tweet about Tesla, for example, like 3 times in the span of a minute. And they would buy Tesla 3 times, and I didn't want that at all. And so this is just kind of like a cool down feature. If it is not on the Google Sheet, it continues with the order. If it is on the Google Sheet, it stops the program. And if it continues with the order, it then writes on the Google Sheet. So we'll get it next time. So the market hours are good. The day trade limit is fine. And we know that it has not been traded recently thanks to this Google Sheet. And so finally, we're going to actually execute this trade. And so what it does is it gets its last price. So if its last price is $1,000, then it will set an upper bracket of $1,200 or up 20%, and then a lower bracket of $900. And so what happens is if the stock goes and hits $1,200, it sells it, and if it drops to $900, it sells it as well. This quantity node just sets the amount purchased to be 10% of the portfolio at any given time. And so, for example, if that's $10,000 is 10%, it would go ahead and buy 10 $1,000 stocks. All right. Now, once it sets all that up, it sends the order to Alpaca, which then places the bracket order, and then this robot is done with it. So it's really not that great of a robot, but it works. And by the way, all this happens within about 7 to 8 seconds of the tweet being twoked, or whatever that verb is. So as soon as the tweet hits, 8 seconds later, there's an order for it, which is pretty cool. Well, I think it's pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. That's how it works. I also have a couple extra things down here. For example, this one sends a daily summary at 4 o'clock of what happened with the account. So it sends me an email, and I can just check the email real quick and see if I'm up or down. And then this one clears holdings on Friday. So it just empties all my positions every Friday afternoon. Just, I don't know, probably a dumb thing to do, but I did it. And by the way, if you're curious, this is what the Alpaca page actually looks like. And so I had a brief moment of victory here, and then it all went downhill. Let's see. Sorry, here's my brief moment of victory. I actually went up. I started at 100,000, went up about $600, and then it went down. But again, obviously trading off of some Twitter gurus' recommendations is not smart, but the execution is really what's important. So you guys can change however you want to find your tweet. You can do a MACD cross or some other momentum type screener, send the results of that screener into this, and it would execute the trade. And yeah, so it's pretty modular. You don't have to just stick with the tweet stream if you don't want to. So anyway, that's it. Guys, if you have questions or want help, I'm probably not the person to contact because this took me forever. But you can give it a shot. So this is my email right here. hellodylanjenkins@gmail.com. The cool thing too about Node-RED is that it can run on a Raspberry Pi. And so I have it currently, it's sitting in my closet, just running on the Pi 24/7. It costs about $5 in electricity a year to run this 24/7. So you could run this on your desktop, a laptop, but probably the most efficient is a Raspberry Pi. And that's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.